And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
She may look picture perfect every time she steps on stage, but behind the velvet curtains, insiders whisper that Beyonce is living on the edge. The smile, the poise, the aura of untouchable power. It all starts to crumble when you hear what's being said about her husband.
This part is not alleged. Jay-Z and his team, they have been ducking and dodging, taking the DNA.
Right now, the Carters aren't just facing some small-time gossip. They're staring down a full-blown storm of paternity scandals, DNA paperwork, and shady financial moves that paint a way darker picture than anyone expected. These aren't whispers you can just brush off. This is a hurricane crashing right into the empire they built. It's not just one woman coming forward. Not even two multiple people are claiming Jay-Z has loved children scattered across decades, each story messier than the last. And while HOV keeps trying to fight it off in court, calling it all harassment, the sheer number of accusers is making it harder to call coincidence.
By the way, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah died?
Yeah.
And Beyonce's solo career was struggling?
People are starting to wonder if there's more smoke than he can hide. One woman in Maryland, Letitia Macer, even claims she's Jay-Z's daughter. She didn't just say it in private either. She blasted it out on Instagram under the handle. Jay's first daughter, Letitia, swears her family told her for years that Sean Carter was her father, and to make it even messier, her own sister backed her up, saying she personally introduced Letitia's mom to Jay way back when. Then we got Reer Satwa, a name that's been haunting Jay-Z's legal team for over a decade. Since the early 2000s, this man has been banging on courtroom doors begging for just one thing, a DNA test. But every time he gets close, it's like the ground disappears beneath him. His filings describe walls of secrecy, legal delays, and a system that always seems to tilt in favor of the Carters.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
These aren't just some random street rumors. We're talking sworn affidavits, specific dates, actual names, even whispers of hard proof sealed away, and envelopes marked confidential. That's the type of evidence that can shake an empire if it ever makes it out in the open. But here's where it gets downright chilling. The lawsuit that just vanished out of nowhere. One claimant pulled back with zero explanation. No settlement confirmed. No public closure. Was it hush money? Was it pure fear, or was the industry machine flexing its muscle? Reminding someone how fast a career or reputation can disappear with one wrong move.
You understand? I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their brain.
Anyone who knows how hip-hop's power players move already knows one phone call from the right executive and the silence becomes deafening. But silence can't hold forever, and right now the noise is louder than ever. Jay-Z's empire is being painted not as a kingdom of brilliance, but as a fortress built on secrets, and Beyonce, the queen herself, is trapped in the middle of this explosion. The jaw-dropping irony is wild. Beyonce praised for her independence and genius. Might not be the innocent bystander fans thought she was. Insiders are whispering that she's known about these alleged love children for years, that she wasn't blindsided, wasn't tricked, but played along to keep the perfect image alive. The image that secured her spot as the world's most carefully packaged superstar.
Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
At the end of the day, who really benefited more than Beyonce from being Mrs. Carter, from wearing the crown as the first lady of hip-hop royalty? Every time she dropped an album, it was flanked by his influence, his power, his empire. Let's not sugarcoat it. Her career was massive on its own, but being tied to Jay turbocharged her brand with his money, his reach, his network. Critics say the gold digger label wasn't just an insult, it was the blueprint. But here's where the plot twist. If Beyonce knew all of this for years, why stay silent until now? Why let whispers grow into screams at this very moment? Why does it all come to head now?
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we see the lineup word on the street is she's been quietly working on a tell-all memoir, one that could rip apart the shiny, polished image of the Carter dynasty. A book that could flip the narrative, painting her not as complicit, but as the betrayed queen. Humiliated yet resilient, surviving while Jay allegedly lived a double life. Think about it. What better stage exit than to declare herself the wounded heroine who endured years of betrayal with one move? She doesn't lose her crown. She rebrands it. She secures the sympathy. She protects her fortune. She cements her legacy, and she walks away clean, never looking like the villain. That's power chest, not heartbreak. And timing.
Best of both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Nobody talks about that project.
That swept that smooth under the rug.
Why?
Right now, the Carter name is burning under a spotlight hotter than ever. Court filings, secret scandals, whispers of love, children. It all lines up to a narrative of betrayal and hidden sins. If Beyonce were to walk now, she wouldn't be seen as a quitter. She'd be hailed as a survivor. The industry adores a survivor. Fans rally behind the survivor. And some insiders whisper that Beyonce picked her moment with surgical precision, the perfect scandal at the perfect time. But here's the darker spin. What if she's been holding back for years, sitting on the secrets, and only now sees the perfect chance to flip the script in her favor? To the public, she may look like the heartbroken wife clutching her diary, scribbling out her pain. But to those who know her hunger for control, this could be the masterstroke of her career. Because if Jay-Z goes down, if his empire cracks wide open, she has to make sure she doesn't sink with him. She can't look like the woman who enabled it or the wife who knew too much. She has to look innocent, blindsided, even victimized. The sympathy vote keeps her crown polished while his world burns to the ground.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them.
They say she knew everything, every secret, every hidden scandal. So the million-dollar question is, who's the real Beyonce, the broken woman staring into the abyss of betrayal? Or the cold strategist who's been waiting patiently plotting her escape route all along? That's the debate, circling every Hollywood dinner table right now. And just when you think this is simply a messy marriage falling apart, insiders drop another twist, one that makes the whole situation even wilder. This story isn't just about cheating scandals and secret kids anymore. It's way bigger. Industry whispers claim there's real pressure coming from higher-up unseen forces pushing down on Jay-Z, making sure the walls close in on him. And the question everyone's asking is why now the answer? Because they want him to crack. They want him to flip. They want him to point his finger at another titan who's already fallen behind bars. Sean Diddy Combs. This is where the whispers turn into heavy accusations and straight-up conspiracy. Diddy, once celebrated as the king of those infamous all-white parties, is now drowning in charges so dark. They threaten to erase his legacy completely. He's sitting in custody. His empire collapsing piece by piece, and the streets are buzzing. Who else is gonna fall with him? Taylor Swift. Jay-Z's decades-long bond with Diddy suddenly looks like the last domino waiting to topple. The theory goes like this: bury Jay in lawsuits, drag him through court, smear his name in scandal until the weight is too much to carry. Then when the co gets tight enough, he'll have no choice but to cooperate, to talk to snitch. And don't forget, this isn't just wild gossip industry veterans. Remember how close these two men really were? They rose together, toasted their billions in front of flashing cameras, always covering for each other when nightclub fights, lawsuits, and ugly drama threatened to blow things up. Now with Diddy on the verge of exposing everything just to save himself, the real question is, will Jay-Z be forced to trade loyalty for survival? Who's to say the feds wouldn't want Jay-Z as the ultimate crown jewel witness? If that's the case, then Beyonce's timing suddenly looks cold and calculated. Why stick around for the implosion if you know your husband is about to be flipped into a bargaining chip in the biggest takedown hip-hop has ever seen? Better to walk away memoir in hand before the entire empire crashes to the ground.
There are people who did short sales on their stocks right after that, made a lot of money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
And the deeper you look, the stranger it gets. Jay-Z's silence on Diddy's current mess is deafening. His old ride or die has been left dangling, twisting in the wind while Jay stays ghost. People notice quick. 50 Cent even clowned him, joking that Jay's face should be on a milk carton meme. Funny. Yeah, but beneath the trolling, it speaks to something very real. Jay is hiding, and in that silence, speculation only grows louder. Is Jay-Z ducking the spotlight because he's guilty, or is he hiding because he's negotiating? The industry is buzzing with both possibilities, and right in the middle of this storm is Beyonce, quietly crafting her exit, polishing her story, and figuring out how to play both sides. Will she frame herself as the betrayed wife who endured her husband's double life, or will she reinvent as the survivor of an empire built on corruption? Maybe, just maybe, she plans to be both.
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, babe?
At the end of the day, the public doesn't dig through the fine print. They just see the headlines, the tears, the stage, walk-away moments, the truth. Whatever it really is gets buried under the rubble of carefully planned revelations. And if that's the case, the real question isn't whether Beyonce knew the truth all along. It's whether this was her plan from the very beginning. Industry whispers say this sudden wave of accusations hitting Jay-Z isn't random at all. It's a pressure campaign, a deliberate play to trap him into making a decision. He's been ducking for years, and the theory is chilling. Powerful forces want him to finally open his mouth about what he knows of Sean Diddy Combs. Remember, Diddy wasn't just some label boss. He was once the flashy king of bad boy records and Jay's tightest ally. But now Diddy's locked away, staring down charges so heavy they could wipe out his career and legacy forever. And here's where it gets dangerous if investigators believe Jay was close enough to witness how that empire really operated. Then his silence is worth more than gold. His words could make or break entire legacies. And the easiest way to crack a man like Jay-Z, don't just go after him. Go after everything he holds dear. Look at the timing. Diddy's legal nightmare explodes, and suddenly Jay is drowning in paternity claims and lawsuits from every direction. Federal filings, old headlines, shady incidents from decades back suddenly resurfacing. Coincidence or calculated choreography?
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past.
Swear, this isn't about destroying Jay-Z at all. It's about bending him into compliance. He's too iconic, too valuable, too legendary to erase. The message is crystal clear: talk or watch everything you've built collapse. And honestly, that collapse already looks like it's rolling downhill. His reputation is under fire, dragged by whispers of secret families, mystery children, and allegations. Darker than anything his lyrics ever painted, the image of untouchable, whole of is cracking. And people are starting to wonder if the empire is built on sand instead of stone. Remember, Jay and Diddy weren't just associates, they were brothers. We all saw the billionaire brunches, the champagne toast, the speeches about strategy and brotherhood. Diddy even bragged once, "Whenever I get in trouble, Jay's the one I call. This is my strategist. This is my brother." Those words age like poison, because now that brotherhood might be the very chain dragging Jay to the bottom. If the authorities think Jay was in those rooms at those infamous parties, watching it all go down, then staying silent isn't loyalty anymore. It's obstruction, and here's the kicker. If Diddy really is gearing up to point fingers just to save himself, then Jay-Z is backed into the tightest corner of his life. His choice betrayed the man who once called him family or sank right beside him in the wreckage. The tension around Jay-Z isn't just legal, it's psychological. His silence has become its own scandal. While the world speculates HOV stays mute and insiders swear that silence is screaming, even 50 Cent couldn't resist poking fun plastering Jay's face on a fake milk carton joking that he's missing. But here's the thing, beneath the trolling, the meme hit a nerve. It reflects what a lot of people believe. Jay has gone underground, hiding out, waiting for this hurricane to somehow pass. But what if it was never meant to pass? What if this storm was built to smoke him out, to force him into a corner until he finally opens his mouth? That's the paranoia. Now, circling the industry, Jay's silence isn't strategy. It's survival, and maybe not even enough. Meanwhile, Beyonce's public appearances tell a whole different story. On the surface, she's flawless, the gowns, the stages, the perfect lighting. But beneath the glitter, fans and analysts swear they see cracks, little flashes of something darker. Her awards show walkouts. Her tour stops. They feel dazzling but almost defiant, like every pose is less celebration, more warning. I'm still here. I'm still in control. And that's where the contradiction cuts deep for a woman whose entire brand has been built on calculated perfection. These moves don't look random. They look deliberate. Some say the sparkle isn't joy at all. It's camouflage, a performance of survival. While her private life quietly teeters on collapse, observers can't stop pointing out the details. Her costumes, the colors, the choreography. One performance had her draped head to toe in gold, standing tall above a stage designed like a royal. Throne room. Was it just artistic flair, or was it Beyonce declaring that she alone wears the crown? Now, another moment saw her cloaked in somber black, surrounded by dancers who collapsed at her feet, leaving her the last one, standing cold, untouchable in solitary power to those who follow her symbolism. These aren't coincidences, they're statements. Every look, every set piece feels like a layered, spectacle-coated messages aimed straight at Jay-Z. A not-so-subtle reminder that she controls the narrative, that she alone can tell the story of their marriage and tell it her way. Even her set lists have taken on fresh meaning. Songs once celebrated as empowerment. Anthems now sound like sharp warnings edged with betrayal and suspicion. The lyrics hit different when paired with the scandal swirling around her name. Fans online pick apart every note, every dramatic pause, every flash of emotion, asking if these performances are even for us anymore, or if she's singing directly at him. Some believe those subtle pauses, those shifts in tone, even the way she bends. Certain lyrics aren't accidents at all. They're calculated signals. A way to put Jay-Z on trial in front of millions without ever stepping foot in a courtroom. For Beyonce, performance isn't just art anymore. It's therapy, it's a weapon, and maybe even prophecy. The psychology behind it is ruthless. Instead of spilling her heart in interviews or messy social media rants, she's using the very stage that built her empire as her diary. Scribbling in sequence, in choreography, in symbolism that fans devour like clues. By doing this, she keeps plausible deniability. Nobody can prove it's about him, while she reclaims her narrative right in real time. And for a star who has always blurred the line between art and autobiography, this mix of spectacle and confession is devastatingly effective. It turns chaos into control, betrayal into branding. She flips scandal into sympathy and whispers into loyalty from fans who swear they're decoding her hidden truths with every note. But here's the darkest twist. Maybe Beyonce isn't waiting for her memoir to do the talking at all. Maybe the memoir will just be the final exclamation point to a story she's already been telling night after night under the spotlight. And if that's the case, then what we're watching isn't just another world tour. What we're watching isn't just entertainment. It's a live broadcast of a marriage unraveling, cleverly disguised as spectacle, and whether Beyonce intends it or not, the entire world has been drafted into her diary, reading her silent messages in real time. Meanwhile, Jay-Z sits at the center of an audience that's slowly realizing they were part of the show all along against this backdrop. Beyonce's position becomes even more fascinating if she really is working on that memoir. The timing couldn't be sharper. Picture her stepping forward with her version of events, right as authorities turn up the heat on Jay-Z to the public. She wouldn't look like an accomplished shielding secrets. She'd look like the betrayed wife, finally breaking her silence, finally exposing the truth. It's the ultimate clean break, a move that distances her completely from whatever testimony Jay might be forced to give about his years running alongside. Diddy? And if she frames herself not just as the victim of her husband's betrayal, but also as the casualty of a ruthless industry conspiracy, then she doesn't just survive, she ascends, she becomes untouchable. But the whispers don't stop there. The theories get even darker when you pull back the curtain of history. In the shadows of Beyonce's rise, some conspiracy theorists bring up the tragic death of Aaliyah, arguing that her plane crash wasn't an accident at all, but a sacrifice to clear the stage for Beyonce's reign. The Illuminati rumors, the whispers of ritual, the unsettling timing, it all still circulates in the darkest corners of the internet. Whether fact or fiction, these whispers add another chilling layer to the scandal. Because if Beyonce really has been shielded by powerful forces before, is it so far-fetched to think she's being shielded again? In that light, her memoir wouldn't just be personal catharsis. It would be strategy, a survival play, perfectly timed for maximum impact. Meanwhile, Jay-Z is still swatting away lawsuits left and right. Claimants like Ramir, Saturn White continue to demand answers. Ramir insists Jay-Z is his father and says he only wants the truth. His own words cut straight to the heart of the chaos. I just want him to finally tell the truth to the world. And that's the echo running through every corner of this storm truth. But whose truth is it? Jay-Z's version, Diddy's version, Beyonce's version. Everyone has their own story, and the one that sticks will decide who survives. When the dust settles, the bigger picture is impossible to ignore. If Jay-Z flips, he could end up as the crown jewel witness who helps dismantle Diddy's empire for good, saving himself, but shattering decades of loyalty. If he stays silent, the pressure only grows heavier. And the cost could be everything. His career, his fortune, even his family, and Beyonce, she might already be one step ahead. Beyonce may use this chaos as her ultimate reset, rewriting her own narrative, free of the Carter name, free of the baggage rising. As a solo empire with a survival story, fans will eat up in droves. And that leaves us staring at questions bigger than one marriage, bigger than one scandal. Is this the beginning of the end for Jay-Z? The man who once seemed untouchable, is Beyonce really preparing to walk away, not from heartbreak, but from cold calculation? And more importantly, are we watching the slow unraveling of one of the most powerful couples in entertainment history right in front of our eyes? So what do you think? Is Beyonce the betrayed victim, the mastermind behind the escape, or somehow both at the same time? And just how deep do you believe this conspiracy runs? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear everything, and before you go, make sure you hit that like button. Share this video and subscribe for more breakdowns of Hollywood's biggest secrets. I'll catch you on the next one, because trust me, this storm is only getting started, and the truth, it's always stranger than we imagine.